Hello and welcome back to Tinker Talks Guns. Today we're going to be talking about this, the Unintentional AR-15. Back right before my idiotic state banned the transfer of AR-15s, I bought an Anderson Manufacturing stripped lower for next to nothing and promptly forgot I had it. Now, a friend gave me a stock for it and a couple other small parts, and I completely forgot about it. Now, recently I have had the opportunity, or the need, to go through my stuff, and I came across the lower. So I decided something needed to be done. And I wound up with this, a 16-inch carbine with an A2 receiver, which frankly I need a hole in my head, but what the hell, it's all good fun. Before we get into the weeds, I'd like to thank my supporters on Patreon. This is very much a shoestring operation and your contributions help more than you know. I'd also like to thank channel benefactors, those individuals and businesses who have contributed to the channel in innumerable ways and really helped make it work. I'd also like to thank Rain City Shooting Center for providing material support to this channel. So let's get into it. So when I rediscovered the lower and the stock, I mentioned this to a friend, and he mentioned that he had this. This is a Clinton era assault rifle band spec AR upper with a 16-inch bull barrel with no muzzle device, because those are evil and promote crime. Let's not even go there. I called around and Pantel Tactical had a lower parts kit, and I arrived just in time for the person buying the two parts kits. They had to check out with them, but they did put together a kit for me, and it was very affordable. And of course, prior to my idiotic states magazine ban, I bought all kinds of magazines for things I might want in the future, or things I already had. So I have plenty of magazines, grandfathered, nice and legal. And I went with 20 rounders when I was firing this because I have them, and I'm not sure why, but just to me, with the carry handle and the A-frame front sight, it just looks right with a 20 round magazine. The stock is of unknown pedigree, but it does include a sling mount slot and a sling mount here. The actually it's on the gas block, which is an A2 gas block, which I don't know that that's any different than an A1 gas block. Also has a sling swivel, and I have a surfeit of slings, so this is going to get one. And it's a bit of a trip down memory lane for me. When I was in the Army, we had the M16A1, so I did not have the much better adjustable sight set up, but I like it, and as far as I can tell from my shooting, I don't need it to adjust it because it seems to be nicely zeroed as is. So last night I put the parts kit in and got it all ready and squared away. The trigger deserves special mention. This is a Rise trigger, which I had never heard of, but it was also given to me by a friend. And let's just drop the magazine, we don't need that. And they advertise it as having a 3.5 pound trigger pull. And honestly, as near as I can tell, it does. It may be even a little lighter than that, but it's very crisp, very good, no over travel. And the reset is fantastic. Very positive, very short. I found it very easy to fire this gun quickly. So today I took it to the range to do my first test firing with it. Let's have a look at how that went. guess it works. Not too bad for 15 yards. I need practice. So as you can see, that went well. The gun was very reliable. I did have a moment of operator headspace and timing issues, but you know, it worked really well. It was very easy to handle, and I only shot out to a maximum of 20 yards because I wanted to verify that it was sighted in, and I wanted to test fire it, and I did not feel like trucking all the way out to the local outdoor rifle range for the privilege of shooting one round at a time. The local rifle range, you are only allowed to load one round in your weapon at a time because FUDs. The stock sights, A2 style sights, there is a large aperture for close range, and you can flip that to a small aperture for long range. And then there is a post front sight, as you can see. Now, this is actually the same, apparently, as the M16A1 sight. You can see there is a detent, and you can rotate this to change the elevation. But the rear sight has elevation and windage adjustments incorporated in the A2 sight, so there's no need for that. It shoots really surprisingly nice. Yes, out of a 16-inch barrel 5.56 does have a significant muzzle flash, especially with green tip ammunition. But it's tolerable. I can always do something about that. So it's another parts bin special in a way. They just weren't all my parts bin, and I did spend more money, but I'm really not into this gun for very much money at all, thanks to the generosity of friends. And I'm really happy with it. I could get a scope mount and mount a scope on it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Now, because when I bought the receiver, it was sold as a firearm rather than a rifle or pistol, I could have gone either way. But God only knows what's going to happen with the pistol brace thing. And I just didn't see any reason to go that direction. Plus, I didn't have to spend money on this stock, and I would have had to procure a pistol brace. What I had thought of doing for a pistol was the pistol brace and just cut the barrel off at the gas block. Kind of a meme gun. And then I considered SBRing it and doing the same thing, because while it would suffer significantly in terms of ballistics, it would be very portable, handy, and incorporate a flashbang, because the muzzle blast would be epic. Then I thought of perhaps putting on SBRing it and putting on a ridiculously large muzzle device so it would kind of resemble the XM177 that I encountered in the military. This was the submachine gun version of the M16A1, and it had a very short barrel with a very big flash hider that actually incorporated baffles and reduces volume enough that you can't buy them because legally they're a suppressor, even though they don't really suppress it very much. Interesting note about the XM177. We discovered that if you extended the stock too violently, this stock would just come right off and potentially turn the last 15 seconds of your life into an I Love Lucy sketch. So we always just kept them locked in the out position. But kind of neat. So this, it's really good, but I already have a 16-inch AR carbine. It's a flat top with an LPVO, and that's arguably much better suited to my needs. So I may do something with this. The problem that I have is that Form 1ing it seems kind of expensive, on my budget at least, just to make a meme gun. Because it would be just for giggles. Because it would be hilarious to have the enormous muzzle blast and all that stuff. Although I have to admit, I mean, if it were cut down that far, it would be a very handy size. You know, positively diminutive. But I don't know. Like I said, it's a shoestring operation and my budget is limited. So we'll see. But I'm tempted. So anyway, that's the Unintentional AR. And it's good. I like it. It's nice to shoot. It is stuck with the iron sights because the scope mount for this carry handle version, I never got on with. Now, the thing about iron sights is that people forget is that people got by with them for centuries. When I was on my battalion rifle team at Fort Riley, Kansas, we shot with iron sights, a less developed version of this very iron sight, at ranges out to 500 meters. And I did quite well at that range. But my eyes are not as young as I used to be. And I haven't done long-range precision rifle shooting in decades. So, and given the mission of this, which is basically just a fun gun and short range, possibly, potentially at least, home defense or something, I think the iron sights are okay, especially since I have another one that has the LPVO. And I'll be doing a video about that LPVO because I really am enjoying it. And interestingly, on the highest setting, the reticle is daylight bright, so it can actually be used on 1 power as a red dot, which I think is neat as hell. So anyway, like I said, there it is. Oh yes, and it has the A2 grip currently, because I had an A2 grip, because like everyone else, I take them off and put them aside, and it was in my parts bin. But it's only $20 for a mag pull unit that is much more ergonomic and nicer to use. So that at least is in the near future. So that's it for this time. You'll be seeing more of this as time goes by, I don't doubt. So I hope this finds you well. Stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you again real soon.